Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Cover Zero podcast, the show where I cover the least in the best way possible. I'm your host, Jason Wells, and today, week 8 is in the books, and I mean, since it's it's a 17 game season now, there's no real midpoint, but this is my midway point of the season. We're going to do a big rest of season preview. We're going to rank all the teams in the NFL on a tier list, and then talk about some award predictions. Joining me today, I got 3 guests. It's a big show today, but we got Spillz coming back, and then we got Cam McMillan, and we got Chibs. Other than that, it was a busy day in the NFL today. Today is the trade deadline. It's the best trade deadline I've ever seen. Usually NFL trade deadline, literally nothing happens. Over the course of this week, though, we have had 10 trades. I might be missing a couple, but 10 notable trades, I'll say. Started off with Robert Quinn getting traded from the Bears, going to the Eagles. That Eagles front 7 is great. Robert Quinn is going to be a backup for them, which is even scarier. Great for the Eagles. The Chiefs traded for Kadarius Toney. Kadarius Toney is a weapon. He flashed when he played for the Giants last year. I don't know if it was health or if it was just fell out of favor with the Giants, but he's a special player with with the ball in his hand, so that's exciting for them. Roquan Smith got traded from the Bears to the Ravens. That gives the Ravens a middle linebacker. I mean, their best middle linebacker since Ray Lewis, so that's exciting for them. Love what the Ravens are doing, building there. TJ Hawkinson went from the Lions to the Vikings. The Vikings offense is getting even stronger now. One downside, Kirk Cousins is still your quarterback. Calvin Ridley got traded from the Falcons to the Jags, and that's funny because Calvin Ridley bet on the Falcons to beat the Jags last year, and that's why he's suspended this entire season. Absolutely ridiculous. But, now he's on the Jags, so the Jags get him for next season. The Bears were selling, but they were also acquiring for some reason. They traded a second-round pick for Chase Claypool. I like the trade. I think it's good for them. I think Chase Claypool does have a lot of talent. He's super talented, but he's Justin Fields' number 1 wide receiver, maybe number 2. Darnell Mooney's still there. Hasn't been great, but hey, it's an offensive weapon now for Fields. Nyheim Hines went to the Bills from the Colts. Not notable, really. They get another running back to go alongside James Cook and Devin Singletary. Still not great. And last but not least, the Dolphins made the splash of the day, trading for Bradley Chubb and Jeff Wilson. This makes me so happy. They're all in on Tua. They're all in on a Super Bowl this year. I am so excited. Winning playoff football is upon us. I can't wait. But without further ado, let's get into the tier ranking with Spillz, Cam, and Chibs. Okay, so we got a big show today. We got 3 guests. Let's just start with reoccurring guest, Chargers fan. It's been a rough go, injuries. It's been a normal Chargers season. But Spillz, how are we doing?
Never been worse. It's another year, same story. It really felt different in the off season. It looked like they were trying to say, okay, this is the year we're going for it. You make a couple big signings. You want Herbert to take that year 3 leap, and then just absolute chaos right from the Raiders game, just absolutely downhill. They had the Chiefs on the ropes, and then Gerald Everett has a stroke, doesn't know what's going on, and then that's it. That changed their season. So you go from almost taking down one of the best teams in the NFL, probably the second Super Bowl favorite, and you almost have them in their home game, and then you get blown out by the Jaguars the week after. I don't know. Their wins are against a bunch of scrub teams when you look at the standings right now. So it's not good. I don't feel good, but um, it's just going to be a standard Chargers season. Going to win half the games that they should win. They're going to lose half the games they should lose, and they're going to either make the playoffs or miss the playoffs on a field goal in Week 18.
Well, another Charger season, another Spillz depression episode. Nothing new. Next guest, we've already talked to his brother. Holy shit, Spillz.
Shambles.
We've already talked.
I'm smoking the headset.
Definitely not as biased as his brother. We got Cam McMillan, Chew Jr. How's it going?
I'm excited to have a calm and rational talk with the rest of you. And yeah, I'm doing great. I'm looking up with the Pats. So yeah, let's do this.
There we go. And last but not least, he's been a football fan for like 4 years. He's been a Chiefs fan for 4 years. Kind of a bandwagoner, for really being honest. Whoa. Chibby, how we doing?
We're doing great. I just want to clarify right at the beginning that you can ask Chew, not Chew Jr., but Chew Sr. I actually signed up as a Chiefs fan before Mahomes started playing, so you can't say I'm a bandwagoner. But yeah, I'm feeling great. On the contrary of Spillz, the AFC is looking quite weak, if I'm being honest. The only two competitors that I'm looking at are obviously the Bills and then probably the Miami, your team. So I think that it's looking good for the Chiefs right now. So yeah, as a Chiefs fan, I'm pretty happy. And we just got Tony, so things are only looking better.
There we go. Yeah, can't disagree with any of that. I guess let's just get right into it. Let's get this tier ranking going. Let me just set up. But we'll start. You guys can all see my screen. You can see the...
It's loading. Yeah, we're good.
Loading? All good?
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. So we will start with the AFC South. I think that's the worst division in football. And let's just start with the Texans. I think this is a pretty easy one. They're a bad team.
They're a bad team. Get them out of here.
That
Basement.
Do we need to say anything else? Just bad team?
Yeah, they have a good secondary. That's pretty much it. Or like at least they have good prospects in the secondary.
They have a few building blocks.
Yeah,
a few, not many, just a few.
Also, I should note this before we go further. The difference between bad and frisky. I feel like frisky is a team that's bad, but it's kind of fun to watch. Bad is just bad. So
there's nothing frisky about the Texans. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm on your side.
We're done. Disgusting.
No, not with the M10 dicing it up over there. It's just an absolute disaster.
Yeah, I gotta agree.
Dameon Pierce is fun. He's a good player.
Yeah. Okay, for next team, I'm trying to find them. Where are they? The Jags.
Looking for the Jags, yeah.
Where are we going?
I just think they're a bad team. They're not even frisky. There's nothing exciting about them. They have one horrible win against the Chargers, and then what else do they do this year?
I feel like they are frisky. They're the only team in that division that has a positive point differential, and I guess it helps they absolutely smoke the Chargers.
They beat the Chargers by 30. What's their point differential? Probably
yeah, but I'm just saying, like, that division's just so bad that considering they're the only team that has a positive point differential.
We can put them if we want to put them frisky, we can put them
frisky. It's a little crazy.
I think frisky is perfect for them. Let's be honest, like Trevor Lawrence hasn't looked as good as like he was hoped to be back in college, but he's looked much better than he did last year under like their new coach there, Doug Pearson, I believe. So I put frisky, and then the Travis Etienne. It's looking honestly like
he had a nice
good
game.
Starting RB. Like they're not gonna do much this year, but they got like a lot of building blocks for next year, like at the key pieces. So
and like that's the thing. I feel like the difference between the Texans and the Jags is you can see that the Jags are building towards something where the Texans are still stage one of that rebuild.
Abysmal. Horrible.
Yeah. Texans are going to get Bryce Jones or CJ next year. That's for sure.
Who's Bryce Jones?
Bryce.
Fuck.
It's a Mac
Bryce
Jones and Bryce Young hybrid.
Fuck.
That'll be a terrible quarterback. Yeah. Jags, frisky. I think that's fine. Okay. Colts.
They're not even frisky. They're just shit. They're
just
garbage.
bad.
Garbage. Enough
Like-
of that. Like, they're banged up. They're old. They're not exciting. They just fired their OC, which is the last thing you want from a frisky team is you're firing your offensive coordinator.
Frank Reich saving his job. That's all that is.
Yep.
What's up with Jonathan Taylor this year? I have no idea. That's my question.
Let's come back down to earth.
Band-Aid.
I just feel like the offense is just bad.
Oh, breaking news. Vladdy wins the Golden Glove. Proceed.
About baseball. Actually, I know you guys do, but I don't care about baseball.
It was more of a Canada news, Toronto news. But
There you
anyways,
go.
proceed. Sorry.
Love breaking news.
Yeah, like the Colts are just everything is trending down. What Spillz said, they're an aging team. They had, I mean, fuck, I thought they were going to win the division at the start of the year, but fuck, they're
Yeah.
bad.
They're boring.
Yeah.
Like,
Like, they're just, you don't turn on your TV and say, I'm going to watch the Colts unless it's the only game on. So
but like, do we not think they could turn it around? Like, that's
Oh,
kind
they
of just
could.
my.
Well, here's the thing. That division is so bad where, yeah, they
Right.
could. Like, I don't think the Titans are very good, but
Exactly. And then we just said Jaguars and Texans are absolute shit. So
You're going to
Right.
make it. It's going to be a flirty 500 record, like an 8-1 or something. But again, I just think that at this point, I mean, we're going to talk about them in a minute, but Mike Vrabel is just such a good coach that he's just so far ahead of all these three teams that I think they're just going to win the division by default, even though they're not a great team by any means. Just they have Mike Vrabel and none of these teams do. So,
and since we're talking about the Titans, I think pretty easy to just go immediately mid.
they're a mid team. They're going to be
That's-
1-out in the playoffs. The Chiefs are going to pulverize them on Sunday,
yeah.
and
Bend
that's
them
it.
over.
But they're going to make the playoffs by default.
Like, if the Titans lose Derrick Henry, I don't think that offense scores any points in a game.
Then they're bad.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Derrick Henry makes them mid.
Yeah, but-
they have some players on defense, but nothing special.
Henry makes them go from fucking bad to mid. Like, they wouldn't even be frisky without Henry.
No, I think they go right to the basement.
Yeah.
I agree. Maybe they can get Burks back and get some sort of a jump, but yeah, last week was not encouraging. They just really did everything they could to hide Malik Willis, 10 passing attempts.
Mhm.
I mean, it's just no, it's not a lot
mean-
of exciting stuff going on there.
Yeah. Henry went crazy. That's all.
Yeah, the Titans, they clearly need, I mean, honestly, a whole new offensive unit. The defense is still really solid, and Spillz just said it. Vrabel is a hell of a coach. So that's probably, like, Vrabel being that head coach is the whole reason why
Yeah.
they're still number one in that division right now.
They have no business being 5-2, but they are. They're at 5-2, right? Or they're 4-2 with a bye.
5-2.
They're 5-2.
They're 5-2,
5-2.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Okay. Next division. Let's just go to the other really shitty one, NFC South. And let's start with the Panthers. Are they bad or are they frisky?
Fuck's sake.
I don't know.
Like,
I
they
feel
should be
like-
so bad. They're so bad.
They're
No, they're
bad.
so bad.
They're horrible, man.
They're horrible.
Like that DJ Moore catch was nice, but that's pretty much the only nice thing the whole year.
But that doesn't happen if you don't play the Falcons, who are also horrible. But
Yeah.
we'll get there in a bit. But it's just like, it's always something like that happening to the Falcons. So I don't know. Yeah, if I'll just chime in quickly, the Panthers are clearly trying to rebuild here. I don't even think we can put them as a frisky team. They have somehow, what are they, 2-5?
They're 2-6 now.
2-6. I cannot
Yeah.
believe this team has 2 wins. It's just so embarrassing for the Bucks, but yeah, they're tanking. That's it.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like the Panthers suck. They have talented players, though. It's just
I like
none
their
of-
defense.
fair. I mean, like even on the offense, though, like DJ Moore. I mean, Christian McCaffrey just got traded, but he was there to start the year. That offensive line. I mean, I know Moob sent the the PFF and ESPN like O-line ratings, and
Mhm.
their O-line's better now. They have a lot to fix, but I could make the argument for Frisky. I think that's just because I like
Yeah.
the Panthers in general.
think-
But
If you want to put him there, I'm not going to be upset.
no,
If you want to move them, you can. I'm
I'm
okay.
going
Yeah.
to put them in bad.
Yeah.
They're a bad team. Like they're going to be picking top 5 this year. I think that's fine. They're bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go next with the Saints. What are we thinking?
I feel like this is hard. Like it's gonna be. I'm gonna have to see the
Yeah.
whole board and like which teams are where to find out if they're mid or.
I still think they're mid because they're really banged up right now. Like
Yeah.
they've kind of figured it out the last 2 weeks, even though like the game, I say they figured it out. I mean, offensively, they figured it out against the Cardinals there, and they just shut out the Raiders, who were looking sort of. I mean, they weren't looking decent. What
I don't know
am
what to
saying
think of the
here?
Raiders. I just think they're not good.
They're frisky.
They're frisky. Yeah. I would put the Saints mid though.
They're maybe
Well,
mid.
I think
don't
they're
know.
mid, and I also think they're going to win this division. This is my fuck Tom Brady, fuck the Bucks. I'm going for the Saints. I picked the Saints to make the playoffs at the start of the year. I'm not hedging off that right now. I think they're going to win this division.
3-5.
Yeah. But the Bucks are as well. So
Yeah.
and like the Falcons are 4-4. So the fuck does it change?
The Saints. I don't think the Saints could have played worse in the first 8 games. Like there's a lot to look forward to there. Jason, sorry, I totally interrupted you there, but yeah, like they haven't had the 3 receivers for more than 1 game this year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and don't expect them to in the future neither.
Yeah,
like
Michael Thomas is just
Michael Thomas,
I have
the
no
biggest
words for
band-aid
this
in the
man.
league.
Can
And then
never
we got-
rely on him.
Yeah, and we got Jarvis Landry. I don't know. He's becoming a Michael Thomas himself, and then Olave just pulled a Tua. So,
Like, and this is my thing with the Bucks. I don't believe in the Bucks for the sole reason. I think Tom Brady has way too much shit going on right now. Again, it's Tom Brady. You should never count him out ever.
yeah,
But we've been saying this for half a season now. Oh, you can't count Tom Brady out. At a certain point, we kind of have to.
I still think you can't count him out, to be honest.
I'll
at the end of the day-
piggyback on that.
It's
At the end of the
fair.
day,
Again, I hate Tom Brady, so not a shock I'm taking this stance.
No,
but
and I can't blame you. I mean, they have the same record and they're both good
Yeah.
teams. I just think.
I don't think it's bold. Yeah, like I mean, you're calling it a bold take. I don't think a lot of people would be surprised if the Saints came out on top when it's all said and done.
and that's the other thing. I just think the Saints they're getting players back to make
Yeah.
themselves a better team. The Bucks, I don't know, like they're not waiting for anyone to come back, like Ryan Jensen, but even then, he's end of the season if that's a maybe. So
They have some secondary injuries, but again, the issue right now is not their defense. They can't score points.
exactly.
Yeah,
they really
but what we
can't.
learned from Brady, man, is something like Gronk is gonna come back, and next thing you know, this team goes on a 6-game win streak, and next thing you know, they're in the playoffs, and they're the most scary team, at least in the NFC. Like I don't know, I agree with you, Elsie, like and Spillz. I think Saints could easily win this division, but like at the same time, like Brady could pull a little trick out of his bag, and next thing you know, he's right back in the conversation. So
Exactly.
It's a split for me.
And since we're talking about the Bucks, let's just put the Bucks right there, right next to them.
Mm-hmm. Maybe need to waste breath.
No. And I mean, fuck, we can talk a little bit more about the Bucks. I'm going to talk about that running game. Leonard Fournette fucking sucks.
Yeah,
He's bad.
Rashad White needs touches.
I know.
He does. Like the fact that they haven't had like a 20+ yard run this season is a joke.
Yeah. Well,
But
can't that?
like-
Come on.
I feel like Lenny does that. Like he always sucks. And I mean, in the playoffs, like a few years ago, he went absolutely nuts in the Super Bowl.
it's the
Same
thing,
thing
like he's
last
still
year,
like
like, end of the
he's a
year.
top 10 fantasy running back right
Yeah.
now, which I don't
Yeah.
even get. He's just a touchdown merchant. But
Gets a lot of catches just because you know how Brady is with
yeah.
his receiving backs. So Julio
Mm.
Jones hasn't played at all. Chris Godwin's missed a bunch of games. Like, yeah, I
Devin
get
White's also
they've had their
gone.
injury issues themselves. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They just got to get to the dance, and then anything's possible. But
That's the
they
thing.
just
Yeah.
got to get there.
That's the thing. Like if they make the playoffs, nobody's gonna bet against them in the playoffs. It's Brady. Like,
No.
I'm a Chiefs fan. I'm saying this, but
Better
I'm
be.
yeah.
All right. And last team up. Do we put the Falcons right next to them, or do we drop them down the frisky?
Drop them down.
The Falcons should have their own category, but they're as frisky as you can get.
Yeah.
I've never been excited to watch Falcons games like I have been this year. I don't know what it is. There's just always something insane going on.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Like some things to look forward to.
Yeah.
I mean, Pitts and London, obviously, but if they got a better quarterback, maybe it would be a little more fun to watch him.
Well, that's one thing. Like, I'm hoping that Ritter does get some snaps because Marcus Mariota, he doesn't throw the football. Desmond Ritter can also go out there and not throw the football. So I don't think there would be that much of a difference between the two. Arthur Smith is also a hell of a coach. Yeah, I think what he's doing with the lack of elite talent on that team is
Yeah, I think I remember watching one of your podcasts early in the year, and you were literally saying that they only have one good defensive player or two, like AJ Terrell and
they had AJ Terrell and Grady Jarrett.
Yeah, and then I mean, for them to be 4-4 is obviously, I'd say it's impressive.
Yeah. So before we move on to the next division, you guys all had the Bucks winning that division.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bucks.
Yeah.
That would be the smart play, but I'm just gonna. No, I don't have the number in front of me. I would say throw a flyer on the Falcons. I don't know. Somebody's just telling me.
It wouldn't this division is completely up for grabs. I mean, it's the same with the Actually, the AFC South really isn't unless Derrick Henry gets hurt, but we've already talked about them.
Actually, they're plus 210. The Saints are plus 550. So maybe people are lower on the Saints than I thought. Bucks are minus 135.
Looks like I'm making a bet on the Saints tonight.
Yeah, I think that's good value, actually. Okay, forget what I said. Falcons are cooked. I'm going with the Saints.
I don't know. I feel like maybe we're overreacting on the Bucks, but at the same time.
That's the thing. It's Tom Brady. Those you would think that Mike Evans and Chris Godwin will get going again at some point. So, but it's a big if. We haven't seen it. It's halfway through the season. So, what division do we want to go to next?
So the NFC North.
NFC North?
Yeah.
Okay. Lions. Bad. Easy. No problem.
There's literally nothing we have to say about them.
It's too bad. They were supposed to be frisky, but they're just horrible. They're not good at all.
And that's the thing, especially with them trading Hawk today too.
Yeah.
They're fully embracing.
They folded.
Yeah.
They had the highest scoring offense in the league, and then they got shut out by Patriots. So.
Yeah, I don't know if you can continue with Dan Campbell here. I know their talent is not great, but they should have enough players to be a little more sound than they are, especially defensively.
Such a lovable coach too.
It's too bad, but the message at some point when you keep going through this every week, the message is just not going to resonate anymore. And it's hard to get up and do the same thing every week and listen to the same message all the time. So
agreed.
Yeah, I don't think
Jameson Williams
Campbell gets fired at the end of this year, but if the Lions start off
slow next year,
if they start off 1-4 again, or even 2-3, I think the hot seat could come calling for them.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens if, let's say, they get first, second overall, and then they got to draft a new QB because they're over Goff? Or do we think they're staying with Goff?
No. Goff is done. He's done after this year. They need a quarterback. Dan Campbell needs, and I think the GM's Brad Holmes.
Yeah.
They need to draft a quarterback to be that's our guy, and risk their jobs basically on the QB, because that's what happens.
You see, so that's why my question is, when they want to hire a new coach that kind of wants to pick his own QB, if that does happen, I could definitely see a way where Dan Campbell gets honestly chalked at the end of this season, just because of their draft position, and kind of what Spillz said, you kind of want a new regime, you want to set a new tone in there, because they got pieces kind of everywhere now. that's not really an excuse to be 1-6, except for the injuries they've been battling throughout you got your wide receiver 1 and RB1 are band-aids, sorry to say, but they're in 1 week, out the next one. So like that doesn't help. But I don't know.
I agree, actually. Yeah.
And we forget Jameson Williams is coming, which is he's gonna be just nasty. I already know. So like, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
If the Lions finish under 4 wins, I think that Dan Campbell might get canned.
Mm-hmm.
Like they do, and they are a good enough team. Like I don't think they're going to finish with 1 or 2 wins, but
no, they're going to find ways to win a couple of games. They have to because
surely.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was way too much Lions talk. Being honest. Next team. Where the fuck? Okay, you got the Packers, you got the Vikings, and where are there? They're the Bears. Bears are bad or frisky right now.
Gotta go with frisky. They beat the Pats.
No.
I think I'm gonna break something just because of where I'm sitting today. I hit my monitor again. They have to be frisky.
Lock of the week was literally the Pats beating the Bears, and they got smoked. So I don't.
They have to be frisky. Justin Fields is looking a lot better the last 2 weeks.
I agree.
Looks like he's taking a step in the right direction. They did a fire sale on defense, which is tough, and then they actually just got Claypool.
That was the most
God knows why they did that deal, but anyways, a weapon is a weapon. At the end of the day. No, we're not even gonna waste any more time talking about Claypool, but it just I don't know. I think Fields is taking steps in the right direction, so they deserve to be frisky.
I agree.
Yeah, like the Bears right now are basically just running the Jalen Hurts offense. Like we're just gonna run the shit out of the football, and hey, Fields maybe try to throw the ball like a couple times a game and not fuck up, which I think that's great. I think that what Jalen Hurts did in Philadelphia, where they didn't have to rely on him and they worked on his passing game, like in practice in the offseason to become a better passer. I think they're going to do the same thing with Fields. And next season, I'm very excited to actually see what the Bears can do. This season, they're bad frisky, but next season, I'm excited.
And they have 120 million, I think I saw in free agency. So they better buy an offensive line to try and make it a little more like the Eagles O-line, which is it's impossible to do that, but you got to get anything better than what you have right now on the O-line to give them a chance.
Yeah. Okay. Next team, we got the Packers. Are they going bad or are they going mid? This is a conversation.
Bad, but
no, we can't put them in a division with the Panthers and the Texans. Aaron Rodgers is still good, even on Sunday night. Man, he just needs help. Like he needs someone to make a play for him because he really just can't do it all. The defense kind of shut down the Bills in the second half, and I mean that's probably not, if not the best, one of the top 2 offenses in the NFL. So I think they actually held their own overall, and they just got to get a couple things going right for them, and they could be back on track. Not that they're a threat or anything, but I don't see how the Titans are such a better team than the Packers are right now.
I was just going to say that. Looking at the teams in mid, like there's no way you just don't throw them in there.
Yeah, I think with the Packers, especially like what we just saw on Sunday night, they finally ran the fucking football. And if that's their offense going forward, I think they win more games. If they rely on Rodgers to keep throwing the ball like he's been doing the first half of the season, they're going to stay in this mid-tier. I think that they might make the playoffs. I think at the start of the year, I had the Packers going like 14-3. So I think there's wins in their schedule. It's just they got to get them. I don't have them making the playoffs, though. I don't know if any of you guys do.
No, I personally really thought that AJ Dillon would do a lot more this year. Maybe it's coming down the road, but I don't know.
Like honestly, I can see the Packers making the playoffs though. Because in my wild cards, like I'm debating between like it's Cowboys are gonna make it for sure, and then you're looking at Packers, Rams, Saints.
Like it's like
one of them.
Giants, Niners, Seahawks. Yeah, like
that's the thing. Like the NFC just fucking sucks. Where, a lot of these teams can still make it in because who fucking knows? Yeah.
So like I got Niners already going in because they're gonna win a division in my opinion.
Yeah.
But so that's why I don't know. I think they can definitely have a chance. Like it's gonna be between probably them or the Rams. And like, are we that high on the Rams right now? I don't know.
No,
like, I'm not
absolutely
saying much.
not at all.
So.
But all right, we got last team up though. The Vikings. This is the first team that's going to make it above the mid category. Are they better than most, or after the Hawkinson trade, do we think they're contenders?
They're better than most. Kirk
Better than
Cousins is
most,
Kirk
yeah.
Cousins.
There we go.
Yeah, I agree.
Reasoning.
Yeah.
There's nothing that Kirk Cousins can do. I think I still saw something today that they actually have like the worst like EPA per play in obvious passing situations. Like they can throw whoever they want out there. You saw the Eagles game when they brought pressure. Kirk Cousins was a disaster.
Yeah, he's not.
It's not going to matter. They're talented. They're pretty well coached right now, I'd say, but it's just you're going to need more than Kirk Cousins. It's not gonna be
I'm not high on the Vikings. Like, I think better than most is perfect for them.
I was doing a little rundown in my head earlier, and I don't see any way to rationalize putting them over that exact slot. So
contradictory because I have them number 4 in my power rankings right now, but I think they're frauds.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like the whole reason why we don't think the Vikings are contenders is because of Kirk. This is a really good roster, but when Kirk Cousins is your quarterback, you're not winning shit. So end of the day, that's kind of all there really is to it.
Because that's the thing. Like they should be a contending team, but I think we all just said like there's just no hope. Like until I see it with my own eyes, what are they? Their upside is winning a playoff game. They're not getting to the NFC Championship.
Until I see Kirk Cousins win a game under the bright lights in prime time, I'm never gonna bet for it. Like I'm always gonna bet against him.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like he's just terrible under
like
the
their playoff run that one year, it wasn't even him. So
no. And we all have the Vikings winning this division though.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's
coast to the division win.
All right. Should we go over to the AFC North then?
Sure.
Yeah. Right. That one's interesting.
There we go. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Bad.
Not frisky. Yeah, just bad.
Yeah. God awful.
First round rookie quarterback should not have been a first round pick. So
no. Especially where those other rookie quarterbacks went in the draft after him. But
it was always just a desperation play.
Well, they reached.
And Najee Harris is looking like Trent Richardson now, so that's great.
Yeah, that one play of him where there's literally a picture with there's no one within 5 yards of him, and he's standing on the line of scrimmage, and he doesn't even get a yard is absurd.
No.
I don't know how he did that. But...
George Pickens is fun.
Yeah.
That's the thing. George Pickens, and now that Claypool is gone, he's going to get way more targets. So that's the only reason why I'm excited for the Steelers, like a little bit. But other than that.
What's the TJ Watt news? Is he coming back soon?
He should have been back because it was his pec, right? That he tore. Yeah. So he should have been back by now, but then he got his knee cleaned up and while he was out. So I think mid-November is when he's back.
As soon as he's back, they're going to be spread merchants. Just take them to cover all the games because they're going to be right in every game just because their defense is actually competent when he's there. So
I'll say that too. They're actually there's a reason to watch them when he's playing. I remember week 1 against the Bengals, he was just
he won the game alone from single-handedly.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're bad.
All right. I'll go next team up then. The Browns.
Believeland.
Are they frisky or are they mid?
They're frisky.
Oh, they're mid.
They're mid. You think so?
So I'm I like to say Browns suck just because it's Massey's team, but I'll be honest, that team is actually I think once they get Deshaun Watson, they're gonna be seriously seriously good. They're gonna be a threat in the AFC.
Thinking about that.
Yeah, so I definitely put them in mid, and honestly, the second they get Watson, they're gonna be close to better than most. Because
I wasn't thinking about Watson.
You have to think that at one point the defense is gonna kind of figure it out a bit because they got pieces kind of everywhere, and then the offense is already playing well. They're really just missing the QB they just paid a shit ton for and traded a couple of assets there.
Well, do you want to go first?
Yeah, like the thing with the Browns is I like the Browns. I almost when I was going over my playoff teams right before this, I didn't want to put the Bengals in just because at the start of the season, I had the Bengals aren't making the playoffs. And looking through the AFC, the only other team that I could rationalize was the Browns. But I think the Browns are just too far out of it at this point. I think this season is a wash, even with the win last night. They're 3-5. Watson's still gone for 3 more games, right?
Yeah, they're 3 in a bye week.
Yeah. So not looking good. When Watson comes back, I would say this team jumps up to contender as much as I hate to say it, but it's just going to be too late at that point.
Yeah, I agree. But
I'm
the
in
other
the
thing we
exact
gotta
same boat.
the other thing we gotta keep in mind is because like, at least one of the Baltimore or Bengals should have like a higher, like a better win-loss record right now. Like like the Ravens are at 5-3, Bengals are at 4-4. So like both those guys, both those teams kind of just gave the Browns a little fighting chance to say the least. I think at least they're 1 win under Bengals right now, 2 under Ravens, and that's without their starting QB.
Yeah.
I think like if it continues like that, I don't really expect it to. I think Ravens, like Bengals are probably going to start losing, but I think Ravens are going to start winning, like stacking a couple wins. So I think they're probably going to distance themselves and win the division. But like, let's say they don't, then Browns have a real fighting chance once Watson's back.
Yeah. But since we just talked about the Bengals, let's just go with the Bengals next. Is this fair? Better than most? I'm not putting them in mid. I think that they're better than mid.
Yeah, they're contenders when they have their full healthy team. Yeah. So I mean, look, when Jamar Chase is there, they have all their guys going. They're one of the best offenses, but right now they don't, and now they look like an offense without their wide receiver one. That's just what it is. Defense was garbage yesterday, but better than most, I think, is fair.
But the offense also couldn't do anything yesterday.
Yeah. I'd just be upset to be 4-4 as a Bengals fan. Like just losing to the teams and the quarterbacks you've lost to. I don't know if I'd be happy to be 4-4 right now. Like I know like some people might get mad at me saying that, but I don't know. It's
okay, no excuses, baby.
I think there's a lot to look forward to, but then again, they just lose to teams that they really shouldn't be losing to. And I guess that happens to everyone, but they've done it more than once, and I think more than twice. So, yeah.
So I will say for the Bengals, because Chase is out, was it 4 to 6 weeks was the timetable?
Yeah, but they say he's a superhuman and could be back in 2 weeks, so we'll see.
Okay,
that's what the reports are saying.
How could you say that?
So that's even better then, because the Bengals schedule in the next month, they play the Panthers this weekend, then they have a bye. So if Chase is back after the bye, even better. But then they play the Steelers and the Titans. So even if he misses all of those games, the Bengals should still at least get 2 wins out of that stretch.
Yeah, they should.
Like they have to, and then they get Chase, and then the schedule gets a little harder. But I have the Bengals in the playoffs. They're not winning this division, but they're in the playoffs for me.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I don't. They didn't make the cut for me.
Spillz, Chibs, are the Bengals in the playoffs?
So, Spillz, you can go first.
Yeah, they'll make it.
Yeah, they're in?
Yeah, they'll be the 7 seed.
There you go.
The Jets are going to fall out.
Of course.
So my AFC wildcards are Dolphins and Chargers. So it's going to be Browns or Bengals, the 3rd spot. And like I kind of just explained it already. We'll see. Like Bengals should win it. They should be in the playoffs, but like they've shown us that they can also find a way to lose. So they could find a way to give it to the Browns, but I think I'll go by a little slight edge on Bengals.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, they are who they are, and they'll probably make it, but I can't put them in right now.
I didn't really say much before, but the only difference right now between the Browns and the Bengals, like for me, right when Watson comes back, we still have to consider that he hasn't played meaningful football in such a long time. He looked horrible in the preseason.
He looked
awful. So maybe it takes him a couple of games to actually get his feet under him again. I'm not so sure they're gonna start out amazing with Watson. It's not just a guarantee that he's going to be the superstar that he was before. I mean, you're playing Houston in your first game back, so he has no excuse in that game. But I would have to check their schedule. But it might not be as prolific as people think right out the bat. So I'm still going to go with the Bengals.
True.
Yeah. All right, and fourth team in this division, the Ravens. Nope. Sorry. Contenders. Easy.
Yeah.
The Ravens could easily be 8-0 right now. Like I think Chibs just said, that like their records aren't what they should be. Like the Ravens have blown, I mean, the 3 losses that they've blown fourth quarter leads in all of them, and big fourth quarter leads. And now they just added Roquan Smith. I love this Ravens team. I always have. I love Lamar. I think they're contenders.
Yeah.
I love Lamar too. Yeah, and that was a great move they made. So
just kind of hilarious how they haven't added any pieces on offense. Like last game, I think their leading receiver was DeMarcus Robinson. It's just kind of funny. Like,
Chiefs
I don't know. It's like, okay, yeah, we're going all in. We're getting Roquan Smith. Like, that's a great pickup, but just do something for your superstar quarterback, you know?
Maybe they're a sleeper to get OBJ.
We'll see.
Nice.
Isn't that where LSU is? Like, oh no, sorry, that's New Orleans.
Yeah.
Cut that one off.
Oh boy, Chibi.
Just wait for the halftime bull to hit. Fuck.
Yeah, I don't know how they lost to the Giants. What was it, last week? Or
no,
they had a 14-point lead in the fourth.
Yeah.
Or no, that wasn't last week. I guess they played the Bucks, but
2 weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll chat about the Giants.
Same with Miami. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and like that's the thing. Like that Miami, like I mean, the Miami win is that secondary was banged up. They were tired, and yeah, when you have guys like Waddle and Tyreek who will just run past you, like those. I forget what the stat was, but they ran something like those DBs ran more than like any other team has in the past like decade. So
it also goes to show Mike McDaniel's creativity. But yeah, I guess we can say that for the AFC.
Yeah, I think it was 11 kilometers, Jason.
Yeah, it's fucked.
Something nuts like that.
But all right,
anyway,
we all have the Ravens winning this division.
Yeah.
Yep.
Minus 400. They're not coughing that up.
No, I don't think so either. Okay, next division. We go at the East or we go at the West? Where are we going first?
Let's do the East.
Yeah.
Go with the East. All right, let's start with the NFC East then. The Commanders. I don't like. The Commanders are like
they're not mid. They're
a bad team with Heineke. He's got that Fitzpatrick, the Fitzmagic touch to him. Like, but
nah, they have a good base. I'd put them at Frisky. Like they have good players on offense. They have I think they have the two of the top 4 graded safeties. Chase Young hasn't even played yet.
No.
So, I mean, their D-line is still like pretty ferocious. They really just got to get not Carson Wentz, and they need a quarterback. They need something new. So we'll see what happens to them in the draft there. But it's got to be a rookie. It's got to be a young guy. And I don't know. I would also probably part ways with Rivera.
Yep. Oh, he's totally getting fired after this year.
It has to happen. Get an offensive coach in there and try and make this team exciting, because you got Dotson, Samuel, McLaurin, Brian Robinson, gunshot survivor, God bless him. And like they have enough pieces, man. So get an offensive guy in there and make it all work.
Yeah.
The thing I will say is I kind of feel bad for the fans, because don't they all want their owner to sell the team? And I guess like as a fan of the Sens,
cooked.
Like I don't know.
That's the thing. Like where they play, their stadium is closer to Baltimore than it is to actual like Washington D.C. And their stadium's also just falling apart. Dan Snyder's a huge piece of shit. He should sell the team, but apparently he has dirt on all the other owners. Fucking hilarious. But Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that's enough Commanders talk anyway. So.
And Commanders at Frisky, though, that's solid. I think there's a conversation for them to be at mid, but
Yeah.
QB is too much of an unknown for them. Next team, though, the Giants. Mid.
Yeah,
not,
it's
like,
either that or better than most, but they have Daniel Jones at quarterback, so.
Like,
and that's the thing with Daniel Jones at quarterback. I cannot say that you're better than most. Their record says that they're better than most, but I just think this is Brian Daboll coaching his ass off. Because again, I've been saying this for weeks. Not a talented team, but he's doing a hell of a job. I think the Giants are making the playoffs personally.
Yeah, and who was it that sent it to our group chat where it was like the teams that have the most injuries, and at the bottom was the Giants, and they're still somehow 6-2. So that's
Daboll's putting on a clinic right now, and their defense is playing lights out. Their Saquon Barkley's back.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Thomas has become something. Like, they have a lot to look forward to, but just I don't know.
But the thing is, I don't know. Like, when you look at their wins, the only good win I really count is against the Ravens. And we've already talked about how the Ravens are just good at losing a game they should have won. So are they really I feel like their record makes them look a little better. Like, no, you can count the Packers, but I don't think the Packers are good. I know we put them at mid, but they're playing like ass right now. We put them at mid out of just the prospect and the idea of them becoming better, and just because Aaron Rodgers is there, but they've been the shittiest team. I picked them on my survivor pool, got chalked the first week. So I don't want to hear anything of them.
Again, their playmakers on the outside are, I don't even know. I know Wan'Dale Robinson, they're excited about him. Kenny Galladay's cooked.
Come back now.
Darius Slayton somehow decent again, but come on, get him something to work with. Josh Allen was not Josh Allen until you got your Stephon Diggs in the mix. So I don't want to give up on Daniel Jones yet. He's athletic and he's actually been pretty relatively mistake free this year. So they really just got to add a little more talent on the outside before we could properly evaluate that offense. But
I saw something before last week about the Giants, and it was that not one of their wide receivers had over 200 receiving yards this season.
That sounds about right.
Goes to emphasize how impressive this is that they're 6-2. I also have them as a wildcard team, just purely based off the record being 6-2 right now. I think they'll end up sneaking in.
Yeah, Cam, I have the exact same logic. It's just they're 6-2 right now. They still have a couple easy wins coming up, 2 games against the Commanders. And I think 10 wins gets into the NFC, no problem. I think 9 wins probably has a good shot at the wild card too. So
yeah. They came in, that whole division came in with, I think, 4 of the top 5 easiest schedules. So they're doing what they should.
Okay, I guess next team, we'll go with the Cowboys, and I think the Cowboys are contenders. Am I wrong?
No, you're not, but it's just,
I know.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's the Cowboys.
It sucks to say, but their defense is just so good, and if that offense really gets into gear with Dak, it could be scary for the rest of the league. I don't want the Cowboys to be good again, but they might be there.
No, we have to be objective here. They're definitely contenders.
They're
probably not going to win. They're not going to do much. Probably like Stephen A says every time, lose the first round of the playoffs. But let's be honest, they're contenders. They're going to make the playoffs for sure.
I'm rooting for them to come out of the NFC personally, just because
be lit.
It's been so long. They have one of the best defenses in the league, and I don't know. It would just be refreshing to have them back on the big stage there in the Super Bowl. So we'll see, but.
Micah Parsons is a lot of fun to watch, and I think that's a reason why a lot of people watch Cowboys games, and it's crazy to say because he plays on defense, and not a lot of people want to watch defensive players, but it just feels like he's doing something every single game. So,
I'm fine with contender.
Yeah, Parsons is fucking electric. I mean, that defense has been unreal. And I mean, he's the whole reason why that defense is fucking elite. If he wasn't there, I don't know what that defense would honestly look like, but they're contenders. That's a scary team. We all have them in the playoffs, I assume then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wild card one.
There we go.
Yes, sir.
I just don't think, I mean, we'll chat about the Eagles in a second. I just don't see the Eagles losing.
Eagles go right next to them in contenders.
Yeah.
This is my only problem with having even the Cowboys as contenders, because we only have one team in the Super Bowl winner category.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the Cowboys are even on the same level as like KC or the Bills are going to fall into that category. But then again, I don't know. We can leave them there, obviously, but yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. But like, they're not at the Like, I think they're better than the Vikings.
Exactly.
Yeah, like the Eagles' best record in football. They just added Robert Quinn. Like, I don't know if you guys saw, but there was a tweet, and it was basically the Rams' second unit for the defensive line, and it was better than, like, I don't know, most teams' starting defensive lines. Like, that's how loaded the Eagles are, so literally
Eagles' second
everywhere right now.
Most teams' first units.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's impressive.
Because it was like Robert Quinn, Brandon Graham, Jordan Davis, and then someone else at the defensive tackle spot.
I'm all in for an Eagles and Cowboys NFC championship. I think that'd be a lot of fun. It'd be good for the league. So
that would be fun.
That's what I'm rooting for.
Yeah. I don't think like the Eagles, Jalen Hurts is like top 3 in MVP right now. Like, he's a story that no one really saw coming. Like, especially like Jalen Hurts 5 years ago playing at Bama. No one thought he was going to be an NFL quarterback, let alone MVP candidate Jalen Hurts.
I will say this, though. When you have an O-line that good and you got all those pieces on offense, like, there's just no excuse to not be doing what he's doing right now.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to take credit away
but
from
at
him,
least he's doing
but
it.
you see some clips of these open pockets that he has, and it's a dream. So good for him. Keep progressing, and we'll see what happens. But
counterpoint, Jared Goff and Jimmy G are both shit.
No, I was going to say that about Hurts. Like, at least he is doing what he's doing. And props to him, because that was the one thing that was going to hold his team back. And yeah, he didn't hold them back. So.
Okay, yeah. Eagles, contenders. Okay, I guess we're hopping over to the AFC East, and we're going to start with the Patriots since they are at the bottom of that division. They're mid.
They're mid, but they're making the
playoffs. Mid. They're like,
the one thing I will say this: the one thing I don't trust right now is probably honestly just the quarterbacks. Like, they're
really?
They're flip-flopping every second week, but I mean, that can easily turn around. You know, we saw Mac last year, and he wasn't good, but he wasn't great, but he was good.
That's fair.
Yeah, and if Zappy goes in, I've got a fever. It's a Zappy fever. So yeah, I could not have him in the playoffs. It's my team, so
that's okay. That's fair. I mean, Ramondre is a beast. I'll tell you that much.
He's unreal. Their defense is real nice.
Yeah, I think Judon's leading the league in sacks again. Well, not again, but he's leading the league in sacks. So he's certainly lived up to.
I feel like he did that last year, and then like his second half of the season, he got like 2 sacks.
Yeah, you're absolutely
like the
right.
Second half.
So we'll see if he.
I will say this: I do trust the quarterbacks turning around. So if everything else stays the same, then sky's the limit. They're winning it all.
This guy just said I don't trust the quarterbacks, but no, you trust the quarterbacks.
Yeah, I said I trust them to turn around.
Yeah.
To me, that's
you
crazy.
remember Chu was going to watch this video. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. I think like the best thing the Patriots can get is what, 3rd in their division. I don't think there's much hope or anything really. Like, I like their defense, but the offense is just bad, and I think they're not gonna make the playoffs this year.
Oh, and sadly. I don't know how I haven't said this. Matt Patricia is our offensive coordinator, so
/ Joe Judge, which doesn't make it any better.
Yeah, so I mean that's probably a result.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
I
Like
don't
that's
like it
like
at
yeah,
all.
Pats. Bill Belichick is still there. That defense is still really good. I mean, Chu's been calling Jack Jones the next like
Oh,
great
he's elite.
Pats corner, which is fine, whatever. Like they have players on defense I like a lot. I just look on the offense and I like Ramondre Stevenson, but like at the end of the day, he's just another Pats running back who in 3 years time from now, he's not going to be there.
Yeah,
No.
we got Taekwon though, so
Yeah, and I know the Pats offense isn't good, but he's just not being used, or at least like when I am watching Pats games, like
yeah.
I don't know. They just need
No, that's
something. They need
They got
better like skill position players outside of the running back position.
Yeah.
So,
They
but
should
yeah,
have,
Pats are as mid as they come. The Jets though, like I don't know, like I don't want to put the Jets in mid, but I might have to.
I would say if they had Brees Hall, you could keep them mid, but I'm fine in moving them down because I don't know. Their defense is lights out right now. I mean,
Yeah.
they have the top graded defense on PFF right now.
No,
Yeah.
not PFF.
And then the 32nd
Insane.
graded defense. No, sorry, other way around.
It's
Offense.
32nd ranked offense. Zach Wilson has no business being in the NFL. So the Jets are 5-2 with me at quarterback. So 5-3, whatever they are now. So
Seems like he scores more in the offseason. So
if Joe Flacco could get healthy, like sorry for trying to develop the young guy, you're better off playing Joe Flacco right now.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
Well,
Like
I mean, the season's chalk now. Go ahead, Wilson. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, like, there was a point when Zach Wilson went down in that preseason game at the start of the year, and conversations came up. It's like, oh, do the Jets trade for Jimmy G? And good for Zach Wilson. The injury wasn't bad. He was able to come back within a month, basically. But if the Jets would have made that trade for Jimmy G, they'd be a playoff team.
Yeah.
But Zach Wilson is the 32nd best starting quarterback in the league. He's terrible. I don't know. God, I saw people on Twitter talking about that Pats game last week and like, oh, that's the best game Zach Wilson's ever played. And it's like, what game are you fucking watching?
yeah, no, he was terrible.
No,
Terrible.
he's literally never had a good game in the NFL, and I will stand by that.
I feel like every second time he gets the ball, he just like runs around and then throws it away. And if he's not throwing it out of bounds, he's throwing it to a DB. So
yeah, like he gets pressure and then he runs backwards 10 yards, then realizes, oh, he's really far away. I should probably just throw this away. And then he throws it right to the defender. He doesn't even throw it away.
Mm-hmm.
Bonehead dumb moves. I don't get it. Mormon Manziel. I love that nickname, and it's always going to stick with him because
Sauce Gardner is an animal.
Sauce Gardner is an animal. He is fantastic. Like this Jets team is talented. I keep saying this. They're a good team. They're building something. Next year, if they have a different quarterback, I'm a little worried about the Jets. But if they keep Zach Wilson again,
nothing to worry about.
They're done. No,
they're definitely gonna have an insurance plan next year, though. Now that they see the potential, like Wilson might be the starter, but they'll have a plan for if it doesn't go as planned.
Agreed.
You know,
agreed. All right. Jets done. Move on to the Dolphins. So at the start of the day today, I was thinking, and I'm like, where am I going to put the Dolphins? And at the start of the day, I was like, if I put them in contenders, I think I'm going to get some flack from you guys. After the moves we made today, it is easy to put them in contenders.
Yeah,
I am so excited to see what this team can do now.
I'm not going to say anything about that. It's fine. Like, as long as everyone stays healthy there, then they have – why can't they beat the Ravens again?
Exactly. Like, I just think –
they can beat any team.
What was that?
Like, I was going to say, honestly, healthy, we saw them. Like, healthy, like, they can beat any team. They beat the Bills. Like, and that was before the trade.
I mean, the Bills beat the Bills, but anyways.
Debatable.
Yeah.
The Sun beat the Bills, if we're really being honest.
But they do have the best quarterback from their draft class, so
that's a fact.
That's one
hey, Cam, I know where you live, man.
And Tua
had a 96 grade last game. Like, he literally couldn't have played better. When everything's going for them, he's done nothing but impress. So he's probably had the best. If he could probably be the MVP right now if he played in every game. That sounds outrageous, but he has the stats to be the MVP right now.
Yeah. Like that's like the Dolphins are 5-0 when Tua is in the game. In our last 13 games, he's 11-2.
Disgusting.
Something Chargers fans know nothing about. Like when Tua's in, we win. Doesn't matter. It's like, oh, he's not doing a lot. Whatever. We win games. His stats, like all of like the clutch, like advanced analytics stats you can pick out. He's top 5. He's been great in the clutch. Yeah, I'm excited. This is the first time I'm honestly super confident going forward. And these moves today, Tua's our franchise guy. Making those moves solidifies Tua's the guy going forward. No doubts in my mind.
We have to talk about Tyreek and Waddle as well. Like those guys are probably the best duo in the league just based off the speed they have. And
it's not even close. They absolutely are the best duo in the league. It's a dream come true for a young quarterback to have 2 speed demons like that on the outside. So
it's just it's electric.
And Wellesley, do you think Chubb stays after this year? Because isn't his contract up after the year?
Fifth-year option.
Like that's the thing. So 5th-year option, but yeah, you don't give that up without.
No, they'll arrange an extension.
Yeah, because we still have Emmanuel Ogbah and we paid him this offseason.
Yeah,
we have an out for Ogbah in 2023. No, the 2024 season. So
you can do a move like this when you have Jalen Phillips on like his 2nd-year deal, and now he's also in. They really just have talent everywhere. They're a good team. They're very good.
Yeah. I tweeted this out today too. It's like our secondary is super banged up. You don't need a good secondary though when you have an elite pass rusher. That's kind of what the Niners' whole defense is we're going to get to the quarterback and our corners are good enough to just be in position.
Mm-hmm.
Our secondary is still Xavier Howard, Javon Holland, and Byron Jones when he is healthy. Hopefully he comes back soon enough, but that's better than anything the Niners have ever had in their secondary.
Yeah.
So.
And your coach has done a good job in his first year.
Hell yeah. There was a lot of Dolphins talk. We'll move on. Last team in the AFC East.
Should we leave the Bills?
First off,
should we leave the Bills for the end? I feel like I don't know.
Fair.
I want to wait until we have them and the Chiefs remaining.
They can be the crowning jewel for sure. But yeah, so the Dolphins, we all have the Dolphins making the playoffs.
Yeah, they'll probably be the 5 seed, I think.
There we go. Love to hear that. It's the first time I've ever heard anyone say those words to me. Dolphins are making the playoffs. Amazing.
They're going to be the 5 seed.
Okay, so let's go over to. Okay, we've been doing NFC first, so NFC West first. The Cardinals. Where are they going?
They're bad.
See, they're not bad.
They're frisky.
They're frisky.
So this is okay. This is what I was saying at the start.
Debatable.
Be a frisky team.
They're not mid.
Had playoff expectations going into the year.
Yeah, I know. It's like they're a disappointment for sure, but
like, it's also one of those things. I could easily put them up here because I think with Hopkins back, I think James Conner's coming back soon. That defense is fucking shit, but
I want to see them with Hollywood and Hopkins. I think it'll be a lot better, and Kyler should stop playing like an absolute moron. But
because there's no way the Cardinals belong with the Texans.
No, they're better than that.
Steelers.
No.
So okay. I think mid.
Mid is fine because I don't see them with any of the teams.
They're the worst of the mid, though. God damn.
Absolutely,
yeah. Thank God, I've been harping on this for weeks, but them giving Kingsbury and Kime like a 5-year extension, crazy. Shooting themselves in the foot. So
I feel like Cardinals are kind of like the Jaguars right now, in a sense, and I don't know. I feel like I put them both at frisky, to be honest. When I look at it, like I don't know. It's kind of like you guys said. We like kind of thought more of the Cardinals because they used to be like on top of the NFC and they used to have like at least like 11 something record and stuff like that. But I'm not seeing anything that's like making me that more encouraged into them. Like I know Hopkins is back, but I think they're still gonna lose games. Like you
If
said,
they
like,
lose to Seattle this week, see ya.
Like, chalk.
See ya.
I mean, I think they're losing to Seattle, and I mean, are we gonna put, since we're talking about them, is Seattle better than most, or are they mid?
Mid, but I mean, I like them.
It's disrespectful to put them at mid at this point, I think.
I guess, but like, fuck. Nobody actually
But they're kind of like the Giants, like they're overachieving right now. They're not this good. They're not this good. I refuse to believe it.
That's what I'm saying.
There's just no way. Like,
there's no way, man. I'm not trusting.
They have good pieces. Tariq Woolen is a savage. Like,
yeah.
Kenny Walker is. We'll get to the awards later, but they.
I mean, we can put him in better than most.
Gino can't keep this up,
but
there's no way.
I don't know.
Are you doubting MVP candidate Geno Smith currently?
He's not an MVP candidate.
Like
Stop it. Stop it.
I'm not even having that conversation.
Even these games that they're scoring a bunch of points, like he's just being efficient. He's been efficient and safe for the most part. He's not putting the ball in harm's way. And I don't know, they're really just rejuvenated from having the disease of Russell Wilson out of the room. So
it sounds like the Broncos got the wrong quarterback.
Oh yeah.
Broncos are
put him in better than most just because that's so bad. Put him in mid.
I think mid. I just think, like if Jimmy Smith is your quarterback, like that, it's the same reason why we put the Vikings in better than most is because Kirk Cousins is their quarterback.
But the Vikings have a better roster than Seattle.
What?
The Vikings have a better roster than Seattle.
Oh, 100%. But so
I can't,
The Seattle roster, though, isn't that bad. Like,
no, they got
especially
pieces.
on offense. I had questions about the defense, but that's fine. But like the offense, when you look at it, that offensive line is suddenly average. I mean, Charles Cross, great pick. Abe Lucas, great pick. Then you got Lockett and DK on the outside. Ken Walker's fucking incredible. Their tight ends, they got Will Dissly, Noah Fant. Like, it's just Geno. Geno is like the one thing, and he's playing well. He's a top 15 quarterback this season, 100%. He might even be top 10 because there's a bunch of shitty quarterbacks right now, but...
I'm done talking about the Seahawks. They're mid.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. Go with the Rams then. Rams right next to the Cardinals in mid.
I don't even know.
I mean, as of now, they're kind of playing like mid, but it's a tough one.
They're not even it's I guess they have to be there by default.
Yeah.
They're boring. There's nothing exciting about the Rams. They won their Super Bowl. Donald's going to retire soon. They have nothing to look forward to. They have no draft picks.
No.
Sean McVay's probably going to retire soon. Like, they're just there to be there. Like, the defense isn't even like special anymore by any means.
Nope.
No, they're on the decline. They're almost like they're really just a better Colts right now.
No, it's gonna get ugly.
I don't even know how to like describe it, but they're very unimpressive, to say the least.
Like if you take Cooper Kupp off that Rams team, I don't think they score any points. It's the same thing with the Titans.
They're similar to the Titans. Like
it's a little bit different passing rushing, but like Cooper Kupp is the only reason that offense moves the ball whatsoever. And he's banged up right now because Sean McVay was still feeding him the ball when they were down by, 14 late in the fourth quarter or whatever the fuck it was against the Niners last week. I mean, yeah.
I don't have them making the playoffs.
No.
I don't know about you guys, but
I don't either.
Out.
Who I do have making the playoffs, though, the San Francisco 49ers. They're contenders.
Yeah, they are.
I'm not moved, but anyways, you guys can all go first.
I just think they've...
No, Sean.
I think they've
No,
made it far before with like weaker rosters, I would say. I don't really trust Jimmy that much, but like he's done it a few times, so why couldn't he do it again?
It's like, yeah, like the Niners defense over the last, I mean, since Shanahan has been there, I mean, since Bosa has been there, really has been dominant. This is probably the best roster on defense that they've had over those years. Maybe not when they had Buckner and Armstead and Bosa, but whatever. The defense is really good, and now the offense is supremely talented, like literally weapons everywhere. So they're contenders. It's just Jimmy G, can he do enough? And what Cam just said, he's taken them. He hasn't taken them, but he's been to NFC Championship games. He's been to the Super Bowl. I'm not going to bet on him to win games in the playoffs, but can he game manage his way to another Super Bowl? Maybe.
Yeah, I saw this stat that Jimmy completed his first 30-plus air yard pass last week, and CMC also did. So
That's tough.
Yeah.
I just don't think I think the Vikings and the Niners are the exact same team. Both got talent everywhere and both have bozo quarterbacks. So
yeah, but
I think the difference between the two, though, is that the Niners have proven that they've
proved it. That's true.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, not moved. I think if the Cowboys and the Niners played again this year, I don't think the Cowboys take that opportunity for granted again. So we'll see when the push comes to shove. But I also think that the Cowboys will be better as a road team when we get there. But
yeah, but all right, we all have San Fran winning that division.
yes,
Okay.
unless Gino just does the unthinkable.
No shot.
I'm kidding. Niners.
Okay. And last but not least, we got the AFC West. We'll start with the Raiders. They're bad.
They're not good.
I am not putting them in mid. I have given them chances to I don't know, show me something. I thought they were building off something and they got 2 straight wins. And then last week against the Saints, man, Derek Carr didn't even make it over midfield.
No.
Like that can't happen. Like Josh Jacobs has been a monster this season. He did nothing. Devontae Adams, Derek Carr can't get him the ball. Like
Again, their O-line was always going to be an issue going into the year.
Yep.
And again, people can say what they want about Derek Carr. I know some people have some opinions on him. He's not good. He's never been good. He's useless, if you ask me. And they have a garbage coach, so they belong in the basement.
I mean, they're bad, but do they belong with the teams next to them? I don't.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, yeah, they do.
I think so.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Like you could put them in frisky, I guess, but like,
What's frisky about them? They just got shut out.
yeah, exactly. The only reason I put them there is because like I'm looking at what are we looking at here? Chicago. We're looking at even honestly the Redskins or what are the Commanders there and the Jaguars. They don't have much anything better going in the Raiders really. Like,
but the difference is the Raiders had like playoff expectations going into the year. None of those teams in Frisky even thought that they would sniff the playoffs.
Well, I don't know who had those expectations, but those are some outrageous expectations.
Yeah, fucking Bucs Raiders Super Bowl. What a screen cap. God.
oh my God.
But yeah, like I think the Raiders could easily be in that mid tier, like by the end of the season. But it's just right now they're playing such bad football, and yeah, Josh McDaniels is fucking terrible. They said it on Pardon My Take this week, but if you take away, because I think he started when he was at the Broncos, I think he started 6-0 or 6-1 or something like that. But it's like, I didn't realize that they also had a cheating scandal like the Patriots did. Like they have their own Spygate thing where they were filming opposing teams' practices to like warm or for prep for those weeks. So and then they got caught, and then Josh McDaniels' terrible record for the Broncos like after that. So just another Pats assistant coach who goes somewhere and can't coach. What a shock.
Yeah, maybe he'll come back and be the defensive coordinator for the Pats. Who knows?
Yeah, the defensive coordinator.
They're like throwing him in the wrong spots, I guess. So yeah.
God. All right. Next up, we'll go with the Broncos and right beside the Raiders.
Basement.
I don't know though. I feel like the Broncos, like, at least are good on the defensive side of the football.
They're elite on the defensive side.
Yeah, so like I don't know if we can put them bad. I definitely wouldn't put them bad personally. Like,
nah.
I don't know.
They suck, man. I do not.
But here's the thing too: is that defense is elite. They don't have Bradley Chubb anymore.
Yeah, like we'll see what that does.
Like, yeah. So
I don't know. I still don't think I would put him in bad.
No, and it's the same.
I would move him.
Like the Raiders and Broncos could both easily be mid, but what we've seen from the team so far, like, it's just bad football week in and week out.
I can't believe I watched that entire Thursday night football game. But I did.
No.
They're not fun. I mean, everyone thought they'd be better, especially
I had them winning the division. That was my stance. Yeah. Oh, the Broncos, Russell Wilson. That guy tricked everybody. That guy, I can't believe it, but Russ tricked.
Broncos suck.
Got a bag and then just shit the bed.
That's right.
I'm so over that team. Wow.
But I would move him up for sure.
I wish
at least a Frisky. Like, we just can't have him bad.
Again, I'm not putting anyone a Frisky who had expectations.
Okay. I wish that's what I was gonna say. I wish like if Frisky was like potential or something like that, or like small potential or something, we could have put them there. But yeah, they don't have anything frisky. I think they're either mid or bad.
If they were to play like a team like Arizona, I don't know who I would take in that one. Even LA.
Yeah. I'm making the executive call. We're going Raiders and Broncos to mid. Just because I think they're too talented to like be considered with those other teams. And I think by the end of the year, they won't be classified with those other teams. I don't know about Raiders teams that they all fit in with.
I think Raiders are going to be right where they were before. They're going to be bad.
All right. There's a Chibby take.
Yep. Should be a hot take of the night.
All right.
Both those teams are dog water and they're crap, so I'd have them in the basement, but it's okay. Executive decision.
Well, speaking of dog water, we got the Chargers next. Chibs, I'm going to start with you. Do we think that Justin Herbert is just a Lions Matt Stafford?
Oof. I don't know if I wouldn't put it that bad. Like, I like Herbert. I've been saying I didn't like Staley. So I've been telling Spillz ever since they got him. And then their defense is just like always injured, always banged up. So the defense just can never be really consistently good. So I don't know. I'd say like, I mean, I have them as my wild card 2, I think, in the AFC. So like, I still like, even though like it's a rivalry, like I still like the Chargers. Still a good team. They could be much better than that. But I think they need to switch the coach, and they'll become what they should be, in my opinion.
All right, Spillz, you wanna go on a rant?
I'm going last. Go ahead, Cam.
No, on Justin Herbert, he's great. Like, I don't like the play calling, and I think if they changed it up a little bit, he could do something special. I mean, I always think about this. Imagine Justin Herbert throwing to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, and just letting loose. Anyway, we obviously can't talk about that because he doesn't have those circumstances, but he's fun to watch. Maybe a little bit of an off year this year.
So yeah, I'll chime in now. I'm just going to be fair to Jason. We can't be saying now, oh yeah, what if Herbert had this after what he's had for his first 2 years and what Tua had for his first 2 years. Tua was dealt the worst hand possible. I
sir.
threw him in the dirt. And now that he has what he has, which is probably a top 3 offensive situation in the NFL and the way he's playing,
Easily.
he deserves it. Okay, so look, here's what we gotta say about the Chargers. They should be a contending team. They're underachieving like they do every year. They're injured like they are every year. And at the end of the day, look, the coaching staff found a way to make Herbert regress. Herbert is not doing what he should be doing right now. I understand Slater's out. I understand Keenan Allen is out. I understand Guyton is out. Palmer's out. Now Mike Williams is out. I don't care. Find a way to win. Like, enough's enough here. They have no business being a 4-3 team. You got to find a way to win with whatever you have.
Like,
I'm sorry, you got to get it done. Their lack of urgency today was kind of annoying, but the play calling's abysmal. So boring. Such a boring team to watch, considering all the talent that they have. They're wasting his arm. I don't know what else to say. Mm-hmm. They're treating him like a washed Drew Brees. That's where it is.
I was gonna say they Chargers should try to get Sean Payne, in my opinion. But I don't know.
Just
so they can treat him like Drew Brees.
Sign Brian Dable.
They should have just started by taking Brian Dable. But anyways,
yeah, but that's in the past.
Whatever. I mean, you can say this for any team, but I'm still not betting against them at full health when they have all their boys there. It's a tough team to play. They always give the Chiefs their issues. We'll see what happens. I think they have to be just better than most because they're too talented to be mixed with all of bum teams in mid. So they're very similar to the Bengals. They really just have a very high upside, but they can't be considered contenders the way they're playing the teams that they've lost to right now.
I'm very happy you brought up their injuries because if you didn't, I would have. They've been dealt a very
no excuses.
But
no excuses.
It is troubling that they're not winning as much as they are.
It's troubling.
And like it all boils down to wins at the end of the day. Like, yeah, the Chargers are hurt. The Chargers are always hurt. This isn't something new that they've had to overcome, but they never do. It doesn't matter who's in there, who is playing. It's the same result year in, year out. Something needs to change. I think you guys are cursed ever since you left San Diego. Like, LA is just not a football town in general, and especially not a Chargers football town. But Herbert needs to win. I know it's not all on him. I know he's good, but Spillz, have I not been saying this since the draft that Herbert's not a winner?
Yeah, but like, what does that even mean, man?
Herbert's not a winner. That's all. Tua's a winner.
Trying to say he's not like Tua.
No, like Tua's a winner. God damn. When they beat the Saints 20-3, when they beat the Saints 20-3 last year, Tua's a winner. God, good for him. Like, come on.
Yep.
Goddamn right.
Okay. All right. My apologies.
All right.
Sick in the head, man. All of you.
Right.
Go Bolts, baby.
Yeah. Last team in the AFC West, the Chiefs. This is an easy one.
Yep.
Contenders easily.
Yep.
Move them up one more spot.
Yeah. They could easily go up another slot.
I think they win the Super Bowl personally.
Why?
They do it again this year.
Why?
So they got Pat Mahomes and they got Andy Reid.
Okay. Why'd they absolutely just go snooze mode in the second half against the Bengals last year? Why does Josh Allen always get them? Forget, I don't even want to hear the 13 seconds thing. Josh Allen has their number. They're not messing it up again. That's it. The Bills are gonna get him this year.
The Bills are even making it that far?
Oh, let me guess. The Pats are gonna take them out in the divisional round. Enough. Cut his mic, man.
Spillz, that's crazy though. That's crazy though.
Like, that this is the Super Bowl. Bills.
They're the third. They're the second best team in the NFL. I have them 3 in the power rankings because I just think it's a little disrespectful to put the Eagles not at 2, considering what they've done so far. But look, it's a 1A, 1B. It's going to be a very close game. Those are going to be the 2 conference championship teams, and whoever wins that game is going to win the Super Bowl. So I think everyone's on the same page there. Just think.
But you said like they have our number. I'm not sure. So Because the thing is, like, I don't think our offense regressed at all. If anything, we'll see with Tony. It could be even better. Like, you guys all thought we'd beat the
Yeah,
offense.
that's a huge X factor. We don't know what to see there, but if there's anyone who has that twitch like Tyreek Hill does, it's Kadarius Toney.
Exactly. And then, yeah, oh my God, I don't even want to talk about him. I'm actually going to spaz during this call, so I'm not going to talk about it. My God, man, that's the worst draft pick that I've ever, like, since I've been a fan, that's the worst one. I hate it so much. But anyways,
what I was going to say is in the first. I don't know about that.
Our offense, our offense is still. So I think our offense is, if anything, as good as last year.
Yeah.
But our defense is definitely better than last year. So that's why, like, when it comes to, like, I agree. I think like, there's obviously some like guys like the Ravens, the Chargers that can maybe sneak in there, but like right now it's really Chiefs versus Bills. And I think, I don't know, I'm looking at the matchup. I'm feeling more confident than I felt last year. So, like, honestly, like Cam said, I'm kind of surprised a Patriots fan said it, but hell, I think the Chiefs might actually win it again this year. But I'm not going to say much because I don't want to jinx my boys. But like the cards are looking good; they're looking in their favor.
The Bills have the best 3 set of edge rushers in the league. In the playoffs, you got to get to the quarterback. The Bills can get to the quarterback and sit back and make Mahomes be patient, which he's shown to do way better than I thought this year. We'll talk about the awards in a minute, but I think I've seen enough. I'm going to change my stance on something that I said in the preseason. But no, Mahomes is playing the best football of his career right now. I think he's playing better than he did in his 50 touchdown season, if you ask me. Just based totally, on he's just had to change the way he plays football, and I had a lot lower expectations, and he's making me have nightmares. So
yeah, I mean, fuck. So you guys covered most of it, but the last thing I do want to talk about is that Tyreek Hill trade, because people thought like, the Chiefs offense, like, what's it going to look like? I think that, like, in Chibs, and I think you can back me up on this, like I said from the start, that's a win-win for both teams because it gives the Chiefs the ability to draft, get younger talent, especially that they needed on defense. And that's exactly what they did. And fuck, the signings, like, I think that Juju was a great signing. He's really come into his own the last few weeks. And yeah, yes. Tony, and if he can get back to those flashes he had with the Giants last year, like, it could be dangerous again. Like, it's already dangerous. It could get even better.
Yep.
So, and last team, the Bills. I think they're winning the Super Bowl. Nothing has proved me wrong that they're not going to win the Super Bowl. That defense has been great. That offense has been even better. And they're getting Trey White back this week. So they get a top 5 corner back for that team. So they're winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, this is why I wanted you to keep the Bills for the end, just because so we can have this discussion. I feel like most of us agree that KC versus Bills is going to determine who's winning it all. So
I think if you call the offenses a wash, which is probably fair to do, I just think at all 3 levels of the defense, the Bills are deeper and better. The Chiefs have the best defensive player, but overall, I just think the Bills defense is a lot more deep. And look, I think they've had their growing pains in the playoffs the last couple of years, and I think it's just their time this year.
Yeah,
that's just how I see it.
You can obviously say it's a wash. I don't know. I think our offense is better just because of I think the X factor is Andy Reid. And when it comes to if you want to compare both offenses, like, I'd say it's a wash if you take out the coaches. But the second you throw in Andy Reid compared to, I don't know if it's Sean McDermott or if they have an OC that does the calls of plays and stuff, but like, that's the X factor for us. And that's why I'm going with our offense. And then when it comes to the defense, listen, obviously they have a better defense, like you said, Spillz, you explained it perfectly. But man, I don't know if you guys saw, but we traded Rashad Fenton last second of the deadline today.
Yeah.
Like, it's all a rookie and like obviously Snead, but like, or the rest of them is all a rookie. Like the drafts, the rookies we just drafted this year.
McDuffie just got activated today.
Yeah, McDuffie just came back. He was unreal when he was playing. Then like our safeties, like Justin Reed, I'll say, like, he's obviously probably not as good as Matthew. I don't know, like, Matthew is also, I don't know, like, what do we really think of Matthew? Like, I'll let that to you guys. Like, that's your opinion, but I've got my own opinions on Matthew.
5 yards. That's all I know.
Yeah. So Justin Reed has not been great, but he's not been awful. So let's say it's whatever. But I really like Thornhill. I liked him before he got his ACL injury. Took him he came back last year. Took him a bit to like kind of get back in his groove. But this year he's been playing pretty good the whole year. So like I really like our secondary. Like, so I don't know. I think the secondaries are getting closer, especially with I don't know which one of their two safeties they lost there. I think the secondaries are a little closer than some people may think. And then it's just because our D-line, like that's what every Chiefs fan was saying. We really wanted Josh Allen, the guy so obviously not that Josh Allen, but the guy, the Jaguars defensive end. And obviously we didn't get him. But I think if we could have got like a nice edge guy that like through the trade deadline before the end, I think that would have put us like clear cut winners of the Super Bowl this year. But now it's gonna be like gonna need either Karlaftis to like do way better than the first half of the season. I mean, I don't know if it's been a half yet, but like yeah, I guess it has been. But yeah, I don't know. Guess we'll see. But I think that Spillz, the secondaries are a little closer than you think.
If there's one team in the AFC to beat one of these two teams, who is it?
The Dolphins.
Ravens flock, let's fly.
Like the Ravens could be very dangerous. Like the Dolphins too, though.
Yeah,
I agree.
The Dolphins' offense is gonna be just impossible to stop pretty much all year long.
And like that's the thing about the Dolphins. If like they are contending, like I talked about, like, oh, you don't need like a great secondary. Like if you have a great pass rush. I mean, the pass rush is still a relative unknown. Like I just assume that Chubb and Phillips with Seiler and Wilkins in the middle is just going to go off. I don't know, because our secondary is super banged up. But either way, our offense is the whole reason why we're so good this year. So we're going to roll. I think that's going to do it for the tier list. Just to recap quickly who we have for the playoffs. So I have Bills winning the East, Chiefs winning the West, Ravens winning the North, Titans winning the South, and my wild card teams are the Dolphins, the Chargers, and the Bengals. NFC, I got the Eagles winning the East, the Niners winning the West, the Vikings winning the North, and the Saints winning the South. The wild card teams, Seahawks, Giants, Cowboys. If you guys want to rattle off your list quickly, go for it.
I have the exact same thing in the AFC. And then in the NFC, I think I said before, I have the exact same thing for the division winners. Cowboys, Giants, and no, forget the Giants. Let me think about this one. I'll come back to me.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I think I've got the same thing as you, but replace the Bengals with the Pats.
Yeah. JB?
Cowboys for sure. Cowboys for sure making the wild card, but see, I'm not sure about the Seahawks, and I don't know. I had, like I said, I think Bucks might actually come back and kind of win their division, which would lead to the Saints kind of having to get the wild card spot. So Cowboys, Saints, and then I just don't know yet for sure for the third spot. I
gotta put the Bucks in there. It's disgusting, but gotta find a way for the Bucks to make it. I don't know. That'd be such a disaster. What a tough year for Tom Brady that would be.
No.
Yeah. Okay. We've been going pretty long already, so let's get to these award predictions. Let's start off with the worst one, the one that no one really cares. Okay, actually, to start off, what we're going to do is we're just going to go around, say who's going to win the award, and then we'll talk about it. Okay. So, comeback player of the year, Saquon Barkley.
No.
See, I think Geno is the sleeper here. Like, obviously, like Saquon's running away with it right now, but if
what did Geno come back from?
Terribleness.
From being asked. Your whole thing about what Baker Mayfield was, that one from asked to being like, okay.
He was a bust. He was a first round. Actually, no, he wasn't even picked in the first round.
Second round.
Bust, yeah. But still, like the guy was like a bust of a quarterback, worked his way back, and now he's a top 15 quarterback in the NFL right now. Also, the comeback player, like, it's all made up. It's not even come back from whatever. So
It really could still be Brian Robinson.
It could be.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious.
All right. So we got Saquon. Spillz your Saquon.
Yeah.
Cam
Saquon as well.
Gino, and Chibs is Saquon.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. All right.
Do we have anything like behind this? Like, if I'm wrong, is there like?
No.
Or is it just?
We just tell you that you're a
No.
fraud on Wellesley's podcast.
There we go.
Yeah. Just throw it in
All
the
right.
group chat.
Coach of the year. I have Brian Dable.
Yeah.
I would, but I don't think it's gonna last. I think Nick Sirianni is gonna win it by default.
Sirianni.
And like that's the thing too. Like the Eagles, they could go undefeated.
I don't think they're gonna lose. Like if they're gonna lose one game, I think like again, coaching, the Titans could surprise them. They're just like one of those teams where they can like catch a bad game out of them. They're not gonna 15-2 is the floor.
The Eagles, I mean,
And we'll see the next time I play the Cowboys because Cowboys will have Dak back and they should be a little more competitive. That game's in Dallas too, I believe. So we'll see.
All right, so Dable and Sirianni, the clear front runners. Defensive rookie of the year. I got Sauce Gardner.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Sauce. I think Devin Lloyd started well. He kind of tailed off, and I think Tariq Woolen's been a great story. But Sauce is
another good name.
Sauce is the man. I'm going Sauce. Yeah.
We're all in agreement on Sauce.
Yep.
All right. Well, Spillz threw out Tariq Woolen. I'm going to throw out another name. I still really love Kayvon Thibodeau. So he's been making some noise for the Giants. Probably not enough noise at this point, but love my Oregon boy. So move on. Offensive rookie of the year.
So many animals this year.
I feel bad for Breece Hall because I definitely would have chosen him, but
I think I still would have gone with Kenneth Walker just because I thought I had him as my number one back out of the draft, and he's just so explosive. So I'm gonna go with Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, I'm on board with you.
Yeah.
Big respect to Olave though; he's going crazy as well. I think he's top 10 in receiving yards right now. So,
and we also have to talk about Dameon Pierce.
Dameon Pierce has been a beast as
fucking
well.
Animal, except like his one knock is that he plays for the Texans.
For the Texans, yeah, no, so I don't think it's totally fair. But
I will throw up. That was a weird. Okay, I'll throw out Romeo Dobbs. He had a good game for the Packers.
No shot.
That's the thing. No shot, but
there's still half a year.
Half a year is a lot of time. I don't know if the Packers can get anything right. If they can run the ball, and then
if you want to take a dark horse flyer, that's not a bad idea.
Dogs.
Yeah.
You had a good game against the Bills, but the game before that, you didn't even have a yard.
Yeah, exactly. It's super up in the air. Okay, defensive player of the year. Who we got?
Micah.
It's gotta be Micah.
Everyone's agreement on Micah.
So electric. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think Micah has all the media buzz going towards him too, because he is on the Cowboys, and that Cowboys team is good, and he's on the best defense. And I think he's going to win it. I think that Nick Bosa also deserves a huge shout out because he's having a great season too. But you can't beat the Cowboys and the media, and Micah Parsons is just that good. So
not that I want to give you any respect whatsoever here, but Javon Holland is balling out. So
thank you.
Very, very nice dark horse pick at the start of the year.
Yeah.
He's the best safety in the league right now, playing like it at least. So good for him and good for you. And Payne.
Okay. Offensive player of the year. Who we got?
Hill or Diggs?
Tyreek.
Probably Tyreek though.
Tyreek's going to break Johnson's record. How do you not?
I was going to say Tyreek, and I thought no one else was going to say it. I don't know. But yeah.
I mean, he's the favorite non-QB right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that Jalen Hurts is first for Offensive Player of the Year, which you can't give a quarterback Offensive Player of the Year. That's what MVP is for. So, yeah, I bet on Tyreek before the season to win Offensive Player of the Year at plus 7,500. So I'm fucking loving that bet right now. I am shocked that no one said Justin Jefferson just because he was the favorite and he's still having a phenomenal year.
I actually cashed my bet out. That's how, like, no confidence. Like, Tyreek is going to the moon.
Yeah.
I took decent cash out on it, and I said, like, that's it. Like, Justin Jefferson doesn't have a touchdown since week 1.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
I had no
There's
idea.
no way.
But
always count on me for the stats. Don't worry.
I'm also going to throw out Travis Kelce as a sleeper. I think he's close to leading the league in touchdowns right now. Plus, like, if he's going to get like his 1,200 yards, like if he goes absolutely nuts in the second half with touchdowns, I think it's possible, but Tyreek would have to fall off. And I mean, Tyreek's not falling off. So
it was like every second game you see Tyreek's stat line and it's like 12 receptions for 180 yards.
Yeah.
And like
crazy.
Every single, yeah. That one last point about Tyreek is he's already tied the Dolphins record for most games with 150 plus yards. So
in the franchise history?
Yes. Yeah. I think the record was 5 and now he's at 5. So
guys, just one of one, man.
Yeah.
Hey, last but not least, MVP. Who are we thinking?
I'm gonna vomit Pat Mahomes. So disgusting. They just got through their toughest stretch of their schedule and they're somehow 5-2. Brutal. They have a lighter schedule in the second half. Then after the bye week, they're just gonna clean up. Like, I was not really impressed from Allen last game. Thought they should have been better coming out of the bye. They're hit and miss, the Bills, right now. Like, I think they don't want to peak too early, but I think the Chiefs are gonna just get steamy hot here. And you think about what people said at the start of the year about Mahomes losing Tyreek and what's the offense going to look like. I know we already said that. They haven't taken a step back. Like, Pat Mahomes is
that guy.
He's 1-1.
Yeah, but I think if we're like, I'll be fair. If we were to actually give the award today, it would probably be Hurts. But then if we're talking like at the end of the year, surely Mahomes. Surely, especially with the added weapon, he's definitely gonna win it. I think at least.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of disrespectful to Josh Allen. Like, I think he's right there, obviously, but I just think Mahomes is gonna take that extra step here.
See, this is my thing. I think that in order for Pat Mahomes to win MVP, the Chiefs have to finish ahead of the Bills. They need that number 1 seed. Because I don't Allen's not gonna his play isn't gonna fall off. Like, yeah, he played okay on Sunday versus the Packers. Like, again, a lot of dumb plays that why are you doing that, Josh Allen? But
yeah.
I think for the Chiefs to win, or for Pat Mahomes to win MVP, the Chiefs need to be the 1 seed.
Which might not happen. Yeah,
that's true.
Fall off.
I feel like Mahomes is doing at least as much as Allen with less. That's why I would personally I just think he's gonna win it.
Again,
is it really less though?
Well, I mean, his biggest weapon is his coach. I'll say that.
Well,
I'm not going to come out here and say that it's less.
Travis Kelce, I forgot about. But yeah,
I mean, but before the season started, you would have said
he's doing more with less.
You would have said he had less. It's just that now you see the records and you see how well he's playing. You don't want to say it.
Well,
but
Diggs and Kelce are a wash.
Then after that, I don't know.
No, Gabe Davis is very inconsistent. He has a couple big plays. It's not like he's a prodigy wide receiver too. Isaiah McKenzie can't catch a beach ball.
I think it's comparable anyways. Yeah. The only other name I should throw out is Jalen Hurts, because I mean, he's on the best team in football technically right now. He is playing phenomenally. I mean, he's the leading offensive player of the year according to Vegas. So he deserves to be talked about. And just because we are talking about MVP, I'm going to talk about Tua because he deserves a mention.
plus 5,000 if you want him. Go ahead, but it's just I think those 3 missed games are going to be
Next
tough
year
to overcome.
MVP season. So
Now, well, next year is due for his regression after they have the tape on him. So
that guy won't stop winning. That's for sure.
Can't stop 4.2 speed. That's all I know.
yeah,
All right. Well,
knows Tom Telesco, you bum.
All right. Well, boys, thanks for doing this. This was a long one. This was great, though. Happy to have you all back on again at any point. So, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Jason.
Thank you, Big.
I also
Right.
want to throw in last minute. Whoever signs Odell between the Chiefs and the Bills, that could be the difference.
Yeah.
I think he's going to one of those teams.
Yep, there we go. All right, we'll end it on that. Well, that'll do it for another episode of the Cover Zero podcast. This week coming up here, there's a lot of games that are really telling about who's a real team and who's not. I mean, you just listen to us talk about all the teams, but like you get games like the Chargers-Falcons. Are the Chargers actually this bad, or can they actually get a win? I don't know. Seahawks-Cardinals. Are the Seahawks a real team, or are they just pretenders right now? Rams-Bucks is a big one because both of those teams stink after, being Super Bowl contenders the last 2-3 years. So that's a huge game. Lots of teams on buys, though, but as always, if you've liked this, please share, like, favorite, retweet, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And until next time, peace.